Senior correspondent John Miller has run the New York City Marathon as an NYPD deputy commissioner. Go, John. He was also involved in planning for it. And there have been, I've heard, intense debates on both sides. One of the arguments is that it's inappropriate and that it will stretch NYPD resources too much. What do you think, Mr. Miller?
Well, this comes down to one of these things, like after 9/11, when they decided to run the marathon, but they also did the big event at Madison Square Garden. This is one of those things where they get in the back of the mayor's office and they say, who are we as a city? And we are a city that will be unbowed by any event. If 9/11 won't force us to bow, certainly this storm won't. And it's about, I mean, it's a lot like running a marathon. It's working through the pain.
But 9/11 had 2 months. You had 2 months to prepare. This is less than a week.
And most of that damage was downtown.
Right.
I mean, you were
That's
just
right
at the crane.
No.
I mean, the idea of getting to any of these places, getting to Staten Island when the subways aren't running.
So part of where they get lucky here, if there's any luck in this week, is that the part that starts in Staten Island starts on the bridge. So the first thing it does is it leaves Staten Island, which has been terribly affected. Then it runs through the part of Brooklyn that has been not as affected as Gerritsen Beach or South Brooklyn, and goes up to a short part of the Bronx, and then down through the part of Manhattan that's not in the blackout. So as fate would have it, the existing marathon route really skirts the areas that are, I guess, in the least trouble.
So bottom line, does it stretch the NYPD and others?
It will. But this is a huge department. This is 35,000 cops. And then you've got a few thousand traffic enforcement agents to man those intersections too. The key here, though, is that this is an off-the-shelf plan. They've done it 1,000 times. They know how many people it takes. They know the route. They know the postings. They know the barrier details. So you're really talking between 2,000 and 3,000 cops between the no parking detail, the barriers, the route. The overtime's factored in and budgeted. There's some argument that it would have taken more trouble to cancel it with all of that done ahead of time than it would to go through it. But the key is they know they can do it. They know they're stretched, and they know that that the cops in the department are willing to do it.
And it may be something about the spirit of New York.
That's the key.
Pulling people together and showing not only unbowed in your words, but also we are here and we can still do the kinds of things that we always have done.
One line I saw on Facebook said, the city that never sleeps never quits. That seemed to kind of sum up the way some people
And it's never
felt.
been canceled. Never been canceled and never been rescheduled.
Not 43
ever.
years.
And frankly, for all we've been through this week, it could be an uplifting event.
Okay, you ran in 1994. Why haven't you run since then?
Well, you know, that was 17 years ago and probably at least 45 pounds ago. And when I finished that race, I remember saying, why would anybody ever do this once? And why would they ever do it again?
No
so
disrespect, but I was surprised to know you had done it. But go, John. Go,
Thank
John.
you, sir.
That was one in a row.